Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we're going to do a video on Draco. New pool of mine, super useful in just about every area of the game. I'll get into Draco soon, but before I get into that, it's actually a sponsored video today. It's going to be sponsored by Bluestacks. So for those that don't know what Bluestacks is, it's a emulator that allows you to play mobile games on your PC. So it's really useful if you want to play games on your PC which are just enable them to be a bit faster, or if it's just kind of more convenient for you when you get home and you want to log into the same accounts. BlueStacks really easy to use. I can literally just kind of look for a new game. So what I'm looking for here is actually another Playroom game called Vikings. Just literally click on the install and you get the same sort of Android window that you would get from your phone. Get the install going and literally just installs like you would see it on your phone. So actually this Vikings game, it's it kind of feels a bit similar. I don't know if you guys would have played this, but I used to play a game called Settlers 2, which was one of my favourite ever PC games back in the day. But you'll see here, so let's just open this out. It's another Playroom game, as I said. And yeah, you just, as if it was on your phone, it kind of just logs in and basically away you go, get straight into the game. So I've got a number of games I play on BlueStacks, but I'm kind of constantly looking for different options. And it's just so easy to do. The other nice thing about BlueStacks is you can actually run different instances of the same game. Yeah, so you can do like multi-screen, so you could run more than one game at the same time. So I could run this game as well as Raid at the same time. And it's just kind of useful, really. There'll be a link down below in my video description to actually download BlueStacks. So you can download BlueStacks. It would support me, and it's just a useful thing to do. But yeah, I mean, this game, I don't know if any of you guys ever played some of those kind of old Settlers type games, but you're pretty much producing your farms, your lumber mills, etc., to produce resources to feed your towns, and it ends up being a bit of a kind of build an army, build a town, go and kind of ravage people. Really easy to kind of get your head around as well. So yeah, if you like this sort of game, this one feels pretty decent. I've played it on my phone a bit, but I'm just kind of looking for another game to play whilst I'm doing stuff like grinding up gear and what have you on Raid. So yeah, as I say, the link's going to be down below. Feel free to crack on and get yourself BlueStacks. I think it's quite a good emulator. It's really easy to use. And anyway, let's get into a Draco guide. So DRACOMORPH. I'm kind of part way through doing my legendary tier list. It will be coming out within a week from now. It takes quite a lot of time, so I try and do it quite detailed. I try and make sure that I'm looking at legendaries in all areas of the game, similar to what I've done with my epic tier list, which you might have seen already. So DRACOMORPH is going to be one of the most sought after legendary heroes in the game. He actually used to be, for those that are fairly new, he used to be awful. He used to be terrible. He was a Vault Lord. They gave him some serious buffage, and everybody that fed themselves a Draco to level somebody up was sick that day, because Draco's become a beast. One of the top tier legendaries in the game. I think I'll start with my reviews actually, because this is going to be pretty easy. Clan Boss 5. Arena Offense 5. Dragon's Lair, you guessed it, 5. Campaign, maybe drops to a 4. Minnow 5. Spiders 5. Arena Defense, probably a 4 because you're not in control of him. Maybe still a 5 though. Ice Golems is 5. Fire Knights probably a 4 just because of affinity. And then all the keeps he just wrecks. The reason he wrecks them is because he is your enabler. He enables all of your damage. He is top tier across the board, and anyone who gets him, it's a great pull. It's a great day when he comes out of the old shiny shards. So let me show you what he does. So he's got an A1 which does damage, which increases the amount of debuffs on the target. Now he's got a number of debuffs, we'll get to that in a second, but if he's paired with other people that have got debuffs as well, he slams people for a lot of damage. And what's really cool is, so he attacks one enemy. If you kill that enemy, you generate surplus damage, and this, let's see here. So damage inflicted is equal to triple the surplus damage. So it will attack another enemy, triple that damage will hit elsewhere. So it's just kind of, it's like Nuketown. You nuke one to nuke another. Really cool in Ice Golem. So you nuke one of the ads, it'll nuke either the other ad or nuke the main Ice Golem. Yeah, just a really, really cool ability. His A2 lays 4 poisons, attacks 4 times. Each hit places the big poison for 3 turns. So if you book that down, it gets down to a 3-turn cooldown. It's just mental. 4 of the big poisons for 3 turns. Obviously, if you go support tree, that becomes potentially 4 turns. So yeah, crazy ability, this one, really good. Then you've got probably what he's best known for, weaken and decrease defense on the same ability, and it's AoE and it's for 2 turns. Again, on a 3-turn cooldown if you book it. If you're lucky and you just throw some books into him, you might be able to just book this down straight away and then not necessarily need to book any of the A1s and stuff. Albeit, he's a good champion just to book generally. So AoE decrease and weaken makes the enemies as vulnerable as they can be in this game. And then you pile on the damage after that and people drop fast. Draco is the absolute speedrun king. He's a clan boss king. He's cool in the arena to set up your nukes. There's just so many places that you can use him. He's pretty much usable anywhere. So in terms of the masteries I've done, I've kind of set him up to be able to take hits. There's a definite option that you could go accuracy build down here into Master Hexa to extend your debuffs. Definitely that's a good option. I've done this because I've got a Vizier and I was thinking about using him in Clan Boss. But he's also very good in dungeons, which you'll see soon. But yeah, generally across the board, you could go defense tree. Most people will probably go this tree though. Probably go there, 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 there. So that's your kind of normal route. So yeah, let's get into giving them a bit of a test run in some dungeons then. So I guess we start with one of the keeps. Just go over the arcane keep to give you a bit of a feel for what you can do. I mean, this is going to be Nuketown Run. Perhaps I'll just take some of the nukage out, otherwise it gets a bit crazy. Because you can just see how he runs just by me kind of getting some enablers out there. So we've got decreased defense and attack here, so I don't really need any of that. I just need damage to come out the other end. So maybe we run with somebody like someone I don't normally use, perhaps someone like this. So you'll see here, decrease defense and weaken. Draco should be your fastest in your team. You want Draco to be the one that goes. Kaimar's brilliant with Draco because he resets this again. And then all the damage just comes out, flying out. You see the nukes. And then straight away we're onto the boss. And pretty much we're onto the boss this quick because of Draco. Draco's ability to do this, see how quickly it's rotating around, just does damage. See that? We nuked him, then we nuked the main boss as well. And now we're hitting for decent numbers. We've got poisons ticking in. And we're going to be done in a very short amount of time here. What, 45 seconds? Less than that, 40 seconds. And if you look at the damage done, so Draco has done just about the most damage, equal with Valor, but he's also set up all of the damage, and that's what you don't really see. He's done so much setup to do the damage, it's mental. So I'm going to take you into Dragons. I'm going to start by showing you a speed run. This is my speed team, is this what I use? Yeah. So he also pairs really well with someone that blows up poisons, like Elanaril. So she's got a debuff, blows up poisons. He pairs really well with people like Royal Guards, people like Bad Elves. You know, anyone who's thrown out a load of poisons, he'll pair well with because he throws poisons out as well. But you see here, we're just going to nuke the wave really quickly. We're going to throw up the same combo. As I say, this is my speed run, so you're expecting it to be less than 45 seconds. And then we have someone here who can do nukes for us in this stage of the game as well. So she does the thing there. She actually done it at a really bad time. But we've got the decreased defense and weaken up. So now we're just trying to lay poisons to do damage on the dragon and wait for the Royal Guards to reset their abilities. We actually lost one of the Royal Guards. So for a fast run, this is actually quite slow for me. But you see it's still 42 seconds. So that's how consistent the runs are with that sort of setup. So if I show you that again now, but without such a mental team, so let's just show you it with perhaps a more consistent sort of team that perhaps most people might have. If you've got yourself a Draco, so we want speed, heals, decreased defense, nuke. I guess we want somebody who is going to just keep us in the fight. So Draco becomes your poisoner in this instance, where you might normally have a Kale. It also becomes your debuffer, so you've got a lot more selection of champions that you can use. So you see, we're just kind of, in this sort of setup, you just have to work your way through the damage because it's much slower. Actually, perhaps Cold Heart's a bit too squishy for this team. Instead of a Cold Heart, probably would have been better bringing someone that's got some sort of CC, actually. You see that? See that damage? Did the 46k, then he hit the next guy for 200k on his A1, which is pretty insane. That's what that crazy A1 does. And again, see that? Bang! That damage is absolutely disgusting. Disgusting damage right there. So we are just laying down the pain. You'll see at the end of this, Draco will do the lion's share of this damage by a mile. See that again? Hits one, smacks the next one. So yeah, so Draco in this fight is just absolute MVP. He's doing all the work. And that's why he's so strong. Anyone who pulls him who's perhaps earlier game, you can just build all of your teams around him. He just brings so much. I've got him here in a, I don't actually go through his gear. I'll go back and go through his gear in a second. I've got him in Stalwart set, which is really, really good. So he can take hits. He still kicks out damage. As long as you've got your accuracy to lay your debuffs and your poisons, he's still really effective in it. And we're probably still going to end up here around a 2-minute fight, which, you know, it's not bad at all. So we're topped up on debuffs. Can't do any more debuffs. Just need to finish it off. Yeah, just over 2 minutes. That's pretty good. So, and you see there, Draco did 2.2 million. Next best was Cold Heart laying the nukes with 1.4 million. Shows how much damage this Draco is putting out. So I'll just quickly show you. I didn't show his gear properly. So in terms of gearing, we have got Stalwart sets. He's got good gear on. I've built him up for my Clan Boss team. The kind of Stalwart set which gets him to 3.2k defense. But I've gone defense ring with good rolls. I've gone defense amulet with crit damage on the rolls. So that's quite nice. And an accuracy. So that's all in all, that's a really good amulet. I've got an accuracy banner with some speed on it and some defense. And then I've gone, at the moment I've gone here, crit rate on the gloves to get them up to 100% crit. We've got HP on the chest with a really good roll of speed and some crit damage. And I've gone defense on the boots with some speed. So I've still managed to get to just over 200 speed, even though I've got defense boots on, because of some of my other good rolls. I've got 40 odd K HP. Again, we've got crazy roll here on the HP for defense boots. These boots are fantastic boots. We've then got a shield with some crit rate on it, accuracy and speed. And then I managed to get some accuracy rolls. So needed is actually high anyway. Accuracy rolls here, speed here, and speed, accuracy, crit. Just in terms of the gear, he is wearing top end gear. I'm not going to deny that. Really good gear. And Stalwart as well, which means any AoE we're taking less than 30% less damage. So he's pretty much geared to be able to deal with anything. He can take hits in the arena, he can take hits in Clan Boss, and obviously he can take hits in these dungeons. So that was him in Dragons. I'll show you him in Ice Golems. So Ice Golem team, let's put him out there. I think I want to go with, maybe I'll try and show you again a bit of a speed team first, and then we'll kick into then we'll kick into more like a sort of more of a normal team. So we're going to throw Seer in. We've got lots of poison, Seer, and then I think someone that's going to keep us alive and help Seer's buffs. Let's try this. Or actually, I want a Kymar. Kymar, where are you? Kymar's in most speed teams, really. So good, just resetting those abilities. So you see here, we get the main ability up, all the nukes, and then Seer's just going to rip those buffs off. And that's wave 1 done. And again, we put all of the decreased defense stuff on. We've got provoke on, so we're not going to get that silly debuff on us. See the damage there, 300k damage on that other, on the second one that he hit. 300k. So we're going to get onto the main boss in what, 30 seconds. And then we've got actually a lot of poison in this team. So we've got definite poisons from Bad L. We've got poisons from Kymar, and we've got poisons from Draco. And we've obviously got the nukes coming in as well. And we've got Bad L for healing. So all in all, the team should be pretty stable. So we need to lay the poisons on now. God, see the damage there from Seer. Whoa, she has just nuked him. Might actually mean that I die. Oh. So we're just throwing out the debuffs again. Everyone is getting healed back up. Got poisons for days. He's bringing the big hits. We're now relying on Draco to do all the work. He's trying his best. Oh! That was close, but again, he's just done crazy damage in there. Nice hits. Nice hits. And that is a speed run. Let's just show you perhaps a bit more of a normal setup. So let's whip out all of these crazies. So we probably would want to go something like this. The speed, we've got a poison. We've got decreased defense and that here as well. Probably somebody, one of these. Maybe this. Just don't know if I got enough healing. Maybe this. So obviously it's going to be slower. It's a much slower team here, but still having those decreased defense and weakens just helps you get through these waves a lot quicker. Obviously Draco's still built like an absolute machine, so he's still going to do his damage. But we've got a lot of defense. Well, not a lot of defense. We've got a lot of protection in this team. That's kind of what you need to get through consistently. See how much harder it is to kill these ads once they remove the decreased defense and weaken. We're just kind of nuking them down. Hopefully, it's just wasted the ability I wanted to save. So now we're just going to come onto this side, and we don't have our decreased defense and weaken for a little while. Bello is pretty clutch, so he comes out with the sort of main steal, which stops them doing their first abilities. But they did get it off, so this could be nasty. Could lose someone here. Actually, looking pretty good. That's 2 down. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, I thought he might. Too much nukage. But again, we've got enough kind of support to deal with it. I have my Reliquary Tender in shield set as well, so she just kind of helps us through this area of the game. So those first kind of bits of damage we just kind of deal with. Again, at this stage, it's just about sort of laying the poisons, keeping ourselves healthy, trying to remove things like the decreased defense whenever we can. So someone like Reliquary Tender is brilliant here. Obviously, Bellower and Kale, they're both in relatively weak gear, so it's not surprising if they start getting low, but we just need the 2 kind of support champs to keep them topped up as much as possible. You see, we might get a big hit from, oh no, he did his A3 instead. We might get a big hit though on the second ad, and that would just absolutely pulverize the main boss. But we're looking good. 2 minutes in. Obviously, you don't get the big hits as long as those ads are down. Basically, as soon as the ads drop, the boss does, or when the ads are up, the boss ignores all of your defense. If one ad's up, the boss ignores 50%, and that's the way it works. So when both ads are up, you just basically get tickled. It's not a hard hit at all. So you have to prioritize just downing those ads first. It's going to be under 3 minutes, which for 4 rares and a legendary is pretty decent. So that is Ice Golems. I'll show you Spiders. Spiders is, I guess it's not his best dungeon, so he's the right affinity, which is cool. He's great for any sort of speed runs because of his because of the way he's set up. So again, I'll show you a speed run first, and then we'll go on to more of a normal run. I can actually just run 4 champs, and that's definitely enough to kill it. So what I could do here is just run like a food champ. If I just wanted to run someone that I'm just leveling up, like, where is he? She might be in the pits. Yeah, he is, yeah. So I'll just run any old piece of food. And this is why you can kind of level champs up if you choose to, but still earning silver and stuff. So we get decreased defense and weaken up. Nuke Town, Nuke Town. We get a reset from Kaimar. Juliana does something silly with her no gear on. Reset the buffs. And Nuke Town. He eats them for 1 time. And then the last Nuke Town comes in. And that's Spider. So in terms of a speed run, it's obviously really easy. I've got exactly now the right combination of champions to make that easy. I just need to speed up one of my Royal Guards, and then that will be even cleaner, but it's already clean anyway. But if we look at then what sort of compositions might be a bit more normal for people to see, probably something like this, this, maybe this, and this. We've got a cleanser, we've got a nuker, we've got stuns, we've got poisons, we've got speed. So I guess this probably will work. The main thing is keeping the apothecary alive, and we've got a few champs in there that can do that. And obviously just trying to keep turn meter down on the main boss. You see the size of the shields here. This miscreated monster just throws shields up, which are mental. And then we're reliant on the apothecary's big hits to actually win the fight. The rest of the team there is literally just there to support, rotate speed so that we get that back as quickly as possible. Cleanse things like the poisons off with our reliquary tender. So as long as we're doing all of those things consistently, we just whittle the boss down. He's probably going to heal up a good chunk here. But that's the kind of first danger point gone. We've got massive shields. We're in no danger of dying. And yeah, as I say, it's just rotating those abilities as quickly as we can. Got loads of poisons on. And it kind of just shows, shows how easy Draco can make this. So the rest of the champions here are strong for Spider. But Draco, because of the decreased defense and weaken on at the same time, makes it so much easier. All of these spiders take more damage. It means my shields become bigger. It means my damage from my Heartseeker is bigger. So yeah, everything about it just becomes easier because of the Draco buffs. So my Cold Heart's in a bit of problem here. Hopefully we get the cleanse. Oh, down. There you go. 1 minute 30. And that is that. I mean, Miscreated Monster was probably one of the MVPs in that fight, but Draco was definitely up there as well. So there you go. That is Spiders done with speed run and normal run. And then I guess we go on to Fire Knights just to show you. So he's negative affinity for the main one, which is probably his only weakness. perhaps I'll just show you 19 and what we would do here. So the main reason you'd have him in would be probably for what this role is doing here, which is just the debuffing. So he debuffs when you get to the actual finite, he's then doing work. I guess I should take out some of this craziness again. So this, and this. Let's try that. So you'll see, I mean, Apothecary is just pretty much in any decent team for level 20 stuff. Cold Heart can sit in them as well. Reliquary Tender can pretty much deal with any endgame content as well. See that damage there, 186k. Sit down, fella. Yeah, so this is pretty much, see that, goes on again, just makes it so much easier to clear these waves. So we're going to get through them pretty fast. Into Nuketown. Reliquary Tender's in there for the clutch cleanse. And we're not really in any danger. 400k, sit down, see you later, 400k. I mean, that A1 is just bonkers. It's like, how much damage do we want to throw out? So here we go, we're just kind of throwing out the damage. Poison's going on as well. We've got the reflect going on from our Fellhound, which means that the shield automatically goes down to 5 hits. And at this stage, we just kind of got free farm damage. Reflex back on again, but Heartseeker's there anyway. And obviously we've got the decreased defense coming on from the Draco, which makes the damage kind of just tick faster. We didn't get the reflect on at the right time there, so we've got to get through the shield first, but we've got enough champs here with decent A1s that are going to do it for us. And this should be game over, I think. Near enough, there we are. Yeah, 143, which again, for 4 rares and a legendary on level 19 is pretty solid. What sort of damage? Draco's doing 1.7. Cold Heart's done 1 million. So it just shows that he hits hard. He hits really hard. I'm actually interested, after seeing that 400k hit, I'm interested in just building him pure Nuketown and seeing what sort of damage he kicks out. But he hits hard. I mean, as it is, I've got, what, 160% crit damage. You could easily just get him in crit set and push him over 250 and see what happens. But there, he hits hard. So anyway, that's the main dungeons. I guess I'll show him in campaign. I've not really played around with him in campaign myself, so don't know how he's going to fare as a campaign farmer. I guess because of the abilities, probably going to be just a little bit slow. But he's in decent gear here, so I should have got the vault out. Let's just go with these guys. That's literally all just food. Let's see. So obviously he's going to waste time doing some other abilities that you don't really want him to do. This is just, yeah, that's the only slow thing really. I mean, it's A1 there. If he just did A1s, he'd probably be nuking people all day long. It's probably going to end up being maybe a 40-second farmer. A bit quicker perhaps. He definitely knows how to hit hard, that's for sure. Look at that. 30-second farmer. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I wonder if he can deal with Nightmare in this sort of gear. Let's have a look. Again, never tried it. Could be an absolute fail. I think it probably would be a fail, but we'll see. He doesn't have any lifesteal gear on, so I can't see that he'd do it in this setup. He'd have to have lifesteal gear on to do it, I guess. Yeah, he's dead. But I'd be interested to see in lifesteal gear if he could manage it, but not in that setup. So, lastly then, I don't think I've got faction wars for him today, no. So lastly, we'll show Arena and then we'll show Clan Boss. So let's have a look what we got. I'm in kind of, the Arena reset was today, so we've not got crazy teams out here, but we've got some good teams. Let's try this one. So we've basically got speed into debuff into nuke is the team comp. So this is where he fits well in a speed team. So the idea is we get damage increase, debuffs go out from our Draco. Someone like a Ray does the nukes, and then if that's not enough, we get the AoE nukes coming from old Mr. Inifui. Throw out the poisons. Obviously, Mountain King's tanky as they like, but the freeze from Ray was pretty clutch. She does more damage anyway when he's got debuffs on. And if that wasn't enough, see you later. Sit down. So that's how Draco works. In Arena, it's not anything kind of super special other than a debuffer really, but he's a fantastic debuffer. Because he lays both debuffs you need, you can get your damage off a lot quicker. So it means you can generally go with either 2 damaged players, or you could do something like this. So instead of 2 damage dealers, you could go with one that was pure CC, like a Husk. Where is he? I think he's only level 50 actually. Had him out the other day. Here he is. So we've got someone that can do stuns. And then somebody that's going to do AoE damage. So maybe somebody like a... I don't know, maybe someone like the Skull Crown would be quite normal. So I don't want to speed up here, I don't want to get frozen up by the Torment. So all I'm going to do is just get a decreased defense here. Weaken, I mean, sorry. But the decreased defense is coming on anyway across the board, hopefully. We then try and get stuns everywhere so they don't get a turn. Got 1 off. And then we got the nukes. Pretty much on anyone that's got the debuffs will get hit hard. I could risk a speed up now, I guess. Make sure I get another turn. And then we lay poisons out. So I could lay poisons, or I could just A1. If I A1 this guy, he's going to die and then it should spread to someone else. So see that? That's what he does. Chunks on the damage somewhere else. Make sure that somebody's dead. Now we're in a bit of trouble. I'm going to throw the poisons out on this guy. Down he goes. Poisons hit hard as well. I'm going to try and chunk her down, the Venus. Obviously my Husk is only a level 50, so it's not really doing any damage. Take her out, hopefully, yeah. And then I could go for debuffs again. I think I will. He's got quite high resistance, this guy. Just try and top some health up and come in with a nuke. And there we go. So that is Draco in action. And then I guess we're just going for a clan boss hit. Need my key from my training event. So I've already hit my damage here. Be careful I don't steal damage from my team. I'm just going brutal because I don't want to steal damage out of my team stuff, but you can kind of get a feel for what you can do. So in this setup, it kind of means I can run without a Vizier because I get the poisons and debuffs running all the time. So it means I can just change up my team quite a bit. I can put in, so I don't need a Razin anymore, albeit Razin hits hard, so he's good to have. So I could actually run somebody like a Norog for reduced damage across the team. I could run somebody like a, who's the other person I thought of? I could run my Steel Skull in there to give me increased defense further on. I could run a Jareg for ally protection. I could run a second counter attacker. So it gives you more options because he's got so much in his kit. But if I don't have Vizier, then I do need my decrease attack champion. So I'm going to run in with a Jareg. Maybe I'll just take her out and go with someone like a Varas so you can just see some healing going from someone else. And yeah, let's run this. Just run it on auto, but you see here, lays 4 poisons down straight away. We've got pretty much all of the debuffs on already. Plenty of damage coming out as well, 50 odd K a hit. I know we're on just on brutal here, so you expect bigger hits, but that is decent damage. So see that, basically 100k plus whatever you get in terms of your War Master. And just keeping those poisons ticking over just means you don't need a debuff extender. Stalwart gear is really great for him as well for Clan Boss, because he does not have great base defense. So the Stalwart just means he's not taking those big hits. See there, 372 versus like 697 over there. That just shows how much the Stalwart is doing. And obviously over the course of the fight, he's going to end up being the main damage dealer just because of the amount of poisons he's kicking out. So it becomes just almost laughable the amount of damage he can do. So what I do, I cut here, I'll show you the end, and you can kind of get a feel for the damage. Okay, well, no guesses who the MVP was. So we did 25.12 million, obviously Draco coming in with the 10 million hit. Vrask, he's not really a good enough healer to be able to keep people going, to be fair, but he tries his best, bless him. So yeah, there we go. That is that. Is that even a 1 key? Yeah, cool. So yeah, I think that's going to be the end of my Draco guide. He's one of the best legendaries in the game. If I just think back to the start of the video, do check out Bluestacks if you're interested in using a like an Android emulator on your PC. It's really easy to use. And yeah, this is Hell Hades signing out. Laters!